Welcome to the HR Certification Podcast, a podcast for HR leaders working towards their human resources certification with HRCI and SHRM. Join host Jessica Miller-Merrill, founder of Workology.com, an HR certification prep program, Ace the HR Exam, as she shares study tips, exam insights, and topical review for HR exams including the aPHR, PHR, SPHR, SHRM CP, and SHRM SCP. Now here's Jessica with this episode of the HR Certification Podcast.
Hey, and welcome to the HR Certification Podcast. I'm your host, Jessica Miller-Merrill, and I'm so excited to have you here. My mission, purpose, and passion is elevating the human resources industry. And in the HR Certification Podcast, I help HR leaders in their personal and professional development. We are solely focused on HR certification for SHRM and HRCI. This podcast is powered by our HR certification prep courses and resources. If you want to learn more about those, go to hrcertificationpodcast.com. Now, before I dive into today's podcast, I want to hear from you. Please text HR certification to 512-548-3005. Ask me questions, leave comments, and make suggestions for future topics here. This is my community text number, and I want to hear from you. So in every single episode, we cover information and resources that are going to help you with your HR certification exams. This podcast is short and to the point. We divide things into different sections. So in each episode, we will have a common question or HR topical area to assist you in your HR certification prep. We'll also have an HR glossary term review. And then lastly, we'll walk you through an HR certification exam questions. Again, this podcast is for SHRM and HRCI exam takers. That includes the aPHR, the PHR, the SPHR, the SHRM SCP, and the SHRM CP. If you want more resources, you can go to hrcertificationpodcast.com. So in this episode, we're talking about global HR topics. We're going to be answering questions, or if you're going to take the CP, the SCP, the aPHR, the PHR, or the SPHR, you're going to be talking about global. These are going to be on the exam. And frankly, our world is more global. Now that we have kind of went through the pandemic, I feel like there is so many more things happening at companies, and it's happening in different countries. This is an area that is growing. Not only is a part of your HR certification exam, but it is growing. So it's important for you, depending upon if you are having employees work at your organization as employees, or you're using a third-party company like a PEO or an employee of record company, that you need this information. So we're going to be talking about global topics today. These are important for you, whether you are at a company that has global employees now, or you're going to plan on stepping into a role like that into the future. The first topic that we're going to be talking about is going to be visas, which falls under the global topic, also somewhat of the employment law, but I'm going to be talking about this because this is a topic that works for SHRM or HRCI. My friend Jason Finkelman, he's an attorney that focuses on immigration. He's going to walk you through really visas in 5 minutes. It's going to help you get some basic information about visas. This is important, again, for hiring people in from other places to come and work at our organization. So listen into a quick 5-minute visa review session with Jason Finkelman. Give us a rundown, just a short, and I know I'm asking for a lot, rundown on immigration and visas, maybe for CEOs or listeners or people like myself who might have been out of the visa game for a while. What's this all about, and why is it so darn complicated?
Yeah, so immigration from an employment standpoint basically starts with an international person needing a temporary work visa to come here and lawfully work in the U.S. It's challenging for HR individuals and companies to secure those visas because there's not a lot of options within the immigration system to get those work visas for foreign nationals. The requirements even though there's a variety of work-based visas, the requirements for those visas are very strict, and frankly, they're archaic. They're based on the way our country was running several decades ago, and so those laws really haven't changed for many decades. And the only ways to get people the work visas they need are to fit them into categories that are old-fashioned. And yes, there's some creativity within the law to fit people within those categories, but there's not a wide variety of options to bring highly skilled foreign nationals to the U.S., or even for entrepreneurs and startups to come here to the U.S. And grow their businesses. So there's often a lot of challenges for HR people to get those visas because they're trying to fit sometimes a square peg into a round hole.
Now, Jason's video and his quick review session on visas is also on our YouTube channel. So we're going to link to it here in the show notes of the podcast. This information might be helpful for you to review again and do it a different way, but it's also maybe helpful to share with managers. I feel like they really don't know what they don't know. So we have to introduce them to different ideas. When you access our HR exam prep course, ACE the HR exam, you will get information that's designed to help you prepare for your HRCI or SHRM certification exam, including this video on visas. You'll also get other information too. We have over 140 lessons, over 1,250 HR exam test questions, and I'm super excited because we now have a monthly subscription that you can access for $49.99. Visit acethehrexam.com and you can learn all about our new subscription, or you can purchase access for 12 months. That's acethehrexam.com. We're going to take a little reset. I know we are flying through this podcast, but it's time to take a reset as we move into our next segment here at the HR Certification Podcast, powered by Workology. I'm Jessica Miller-Merrill, your host here. Just as a reminder, Workology does offer HR certification courses and resources. We help you with HR certification. If you want to learn more about that, you can visit www.hrcertificationpodcast.com or go to learn.workology.com. We offer a variety of prep resources like physical products, including flashcards and study guides, along with courses for all different types of learners. We use digital assets, we use downloadables, we use audio, we use video, wherever you are and whenever you are. Our digital courses are also available on demand and are accessible via our very own Workology app, available for iOS and Android. I do want to hear from you. Text HR certification to 512-548-3005. Let me know what kinds of topics you want for the next episode of the HR Certification Podcast. Did you like this? What do you want to see different? I do want to hear from you. We're moving into another segment on the HR Certification Podcast where we review a glossary term for you. And we do this for every single episode. Now, remember that all these terms are covered in the basic knowledge base for SHRM and HRCI. I want to make it easy for you. And when it comes to becoming familiar with HR terms that are part of the HRCI or SHRM knowledge base, it's important for you to review them repeatedly. We want to move them from the short term to the long-term memory and use different learning styles. This is one of the reasons I offer the ACE the HR exam course, because we have audio, we have short videos. I encourage note-taking. We have our flashcards, digital and physical long-form lecture content. It's important for you to focus on a single term or subject matter area and review that so that you can master it and move on. You want to pick the item that is more likely to be on the exam. For example, if you struggle in talent acquisition and that's a large percentage of the exam, you're going to start there. This is how we structure our course at ACE the HR exam. Let's get to the review of our HR glossary terms for this episode. Today, we are focusing on global topics. Remember, this is a global review. I'm going to review two different terms, and I will repeat them twice for you. The first term is push and pull factors. These are factors which initiate and influence the decision to immigrate or migrate, either by attracting those candidates to another country or encouraging them to come to that country by also stimulating immigration. push and pull factors. Push and pull factors are factors that initiate and influence the decision to migrate or immigrate, either by attracting these candidates to another country or by encouraging them to relocate and by stimulating immigration. Next term is globalists. Globalists are someone who believes that economic policy and foreign policy should be planned in an international way rather than according to what is best for one particular country. This is globalists. Globalists are someone who believes that economic and foreign policy should be planned in an international way rather than according to what is best for one single or particular country. That's globalist. Are you ready? Here we go. We are moving into another segment of the HR Certification Podcast where we review a test question. And we do that for every single podcast episode. So you can go back and listen to all our episodes and get multiple test question review. These are all test questions that cover the knowledge base for SHRM and HRCI, whether you're the Bach or the Basque, okay? We cover it all. Before I share this question, I do want to give you a quick review of my test question framework. Now, more about this information is available on our Workology YouTube channel or inside the ACE the HR exam course. I'm going to link to the YouTube channel episode so that you can get access to that. Now, there are 5 different steps in the HR test question framework. Step 1 is to read each question slowly and concisely. If you want to waste time, read it once. Step 2, identify the HR competency that the question is asking about. This will help you organize your content. Step 3 is to eliminate the wrong answers, eliminate those from your even thought process. Step 4 is WWSD or WWHD. What would SHRM do or what would HRCI do? You want to think about the test question who was writing that question from their point of view. There's only one answer. Step 5 is to go with your gut. All right. So let's get to this episode's featured HR certification exam practice test question. This test question continues in our global theme, so it's a global test question. I really want to give you a diverse set of things to review, which is why we're focused in this particular area. We do have more test questions available in our ACE the HR exam subscription. There's over 1,250. So let's get to it. What is another word for internalization? Is it A, urbanization, B, globalization, C, localization, or D, none of the above? What is another word for internalization? What do you think that is? Is it A, urbanization? Is it B, globalization, 3, localization, or D, none of the above? What do you think the answer is? Let's drum roll, please. The answer is B. Because of the rapid development of these drivers, internationalization is spreading faster than ever, and it has led some observers to refer to it as globalization. Okay? Now, it's okay if you got this one wrong. If it's a new term or maybe you're just having a rough day, no worries. Just make a note for yourself. Get out your trusty notebook, make a note, and then make a note to review this for later. This is going to go into your daily topic review. I do have more test questions, and if you're interested, you can go to ACE the HR exam and purchase access, or you can grab our 25 free test questions at www.hrtestquestion.com. I want to make it easy for you. I know you can do it together. We can help you ace your HR certification exam. HR certification is such an important step in your career. Whether you are looking to increase your HR knowledge base, gain credibility at the office, or increase your income potential, or maybe you just want to prove to yourself that you deserve to be in the room. And I'm going to tell you right now, you deserve to be here. Together, let's elevate the HR profession. Thank you for joining me on our global episode of the HR Certification Podcast. I'm so excited to be here sharing with you. My name is Jessica Miller-Merrill, and I help HR leaders ace their HR certification exams with SHRM and HRCI. Let me do the same for you. Workology offers a host of courses and resources designed to help you ace your HR certification exam. I have over 20 years of experience in HR, and I'm here to help support you in doing it faster and better with a positive pass result. If you want to learn more, you can go to www.hrcertificationpodcast.com, and I'll be able to share about how we help you with HR certification prep for the aPHR, the PHR, the SPHR, the SHRM CP, and the SHRM SCP exams. If you have a suggestion for the HR Certification Podcast, another episode, I want to hear from you. Let me know what your suggestion is, comment, topic. You just need to text the words HR certification to 512-548-3005. This is my community text number, and I want to hear from you. Have a great day. Thanks for listening to this episode of the HR Certification Podcast. I'll see you next time.